Authority Radio.
Welcome, everyone. This is 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, Albert Zita. And this week, we're joined by our good friend, special guest of the Dos Leprechauns podcast, Jason Hendricks. Guillermo Zita is not going to be with us today. He's en route back to Florida. We shipped him back to Orlando, Albert, right? You got tired of him for 1 week?
Yeah. That's all I can stand from the guy now. Just 1 week.
After how many 20-plus years live with the guy? Growing up with him?
20-plus years.
Now, get back to Florida.
Sharing a room for half my life with that
guy. This week's show got a lot to talk about. International Fight Week is in the books. Not the most memorable one, I think, in terms of stuff happening inside the octagon, but a lot of stuff. UFC 213 main event was switched. You got a new interim world middleweight champion. Justin Gaethje's memorable debut. Amanda Nunes situation. The highlights from the weekend, all that stuff. So let's start get started, gentlemen. So round number one. Albert, get the timer for me. So UFC 213 main event, Robert Whittaker outduels Yoel Romero to become the new interim middleweight champion of the UFC. Just thoughts and situation on the fight. Did you have Whittaker winning this bout?
I had Romero winning. I thought he was going to be able to impose his will by taking him down and laying on him or whatever you want to do. But I heard an interesting comment from his camp post-fight that basically they conceded round 4 and said, hey, we're going to win the fight round 5, which... I mean, if you're in a title fight like that, that's what Romero's camp said. He said, we're basically conceding round 4, and we're going to go for the win in round 5. I said, I'm just thinking, even an interim title shot, that seems like a pretty risky move, don't you guys think? I mean, you got to go for the kill each time. But
from what I saw, he was super drained, so I can see why the camp will tell him to arrest one.
Yeah.
But I heard the biggest issue was he hurt Robert Whittaker's leg and then stopped attacking the leg when it should have been like a no-brainer. Keep hitting the leg. That'll set up the takedown.
Yeah, you can see. I watched the fight from the beginning, and at the first 2 rounds, Romero was just destroying Whittaker's leg, and you could see that it was trying to get the best of him. It started to get real red. I thought, why not stay after it? And then all of a sudden, round 3 comes, and he totally let off.
He said he stomped on it. I didn't catch that. He said Romero stomped on his knee, but I don't know how you could do that in a fight. But my thing is, the fight was a little overshadowed by Michael Bisping, little antics, cage side, and then coming in and kind of weak promo. Because Robert Whittaker super humble, and he said, if I'm a champion, I act like a champion. Mm-hmm. He said that post fight, and then
he felt desperate and threw his belt.
Yeah, like why are you throwing your belt for? It's like
you want to go and take it.
Robert Whittaker's kind of a chill dude. Like I think you're get him fired up. Uh-huh. So I still think too that he basically sat. There's no greater analogy than having Bisping cage side watching Robert Whittaker do his dirty work from 2 fights in a row. Now he defeated Jacare, he defeated Romero. Now he gets to get the young gun. I said Robert Whittaker's a future of this division. And I think hopefully it is now. Did you guys like Bisping's promo? It was I felt a little forced. I think.
Yeah, a little bit forced. He dropped an F-bomb, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, it was generic. I mean, I didn't feel like, oh man, I'm gonna go buy this fight now. It was just kind of like, all right. And then, like you said, Whittaker, he's kind of a laid back guy. He didn't really engage too much. Bisping dropped the belt. He said, "Oh, can I have that?" Like it was kind of funny. Like it wasn't. He didn't get pissed. He just kind of rolled with it. Which props to him for not getting fired up. But hey, we pay to see fights where there's grudge matches, right? Yeah. That's when it makes it more interesting.
I don't know if you guys caught the funniest part though. Right away, Dana White ran and picked up the belt. He's like, "Man, we are not doing this right now."
Maybe it's that Aussie nature because Mark Hunt's super laid back. He never got mad, and But major props to Robert Whittaker. I think this dude's super young. If you saw the stuff he did with the community back in Australia and that area around there, I think there's no greater person to represent this division other than Michael Bisping, in my opinion.
I think you have to give respect to a lot of the fighters that stay with their camp regardless of how big they're getting. And they stay in the camp in their home place. I mean, the guy's been training in Australia, stays in Australia and trains, not like a lot of several fighters that start off in a certain location and then just go somewhere else and then just because of beneficial, whatever. But so props to that. I mean, he could have easily went to any of the top camps out there, and I'm pretty sure it was harder for him to actually train in Australia because just if you think about it, no matter where they fight, even if it's Vegas or even if they go to the East Coast, it's a long trip for Robert Whittaker. Yeah. So it's not the most convenient place to be at, and just props just for sticking there.
Yeah, I don't know I haven't seen the schedule for the UFC for the remainder of this year. I'm not too sure when Bisping will be back though. But do you think they have that title fight somewhere in England or in Australia? They draw huge crowds in both countries, or they have it here stateside?
I think it'll benefit them the most to do it in Australia, just because you're about to lock in that fan base pretty soon, and why not keep the ball rolling with your only champion that's Australian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it just to me it's a no-brainer doing it. So the UK fans, I think they're already locked down.
Yeah.
I think you already have the UK people into MMA.
Yeah. Or New Zealand but he lives in
Australia.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Bisping isn't beating Whittaker, and so we don't need him to have that home field advantage bull crap in England. So yeah, let's make it in Australia or a neutral site, Vegas, whatever.
Yeah. Even if Michael Bisping goes trains with DC and on his takedown for the whole camp, he ain't gonna win.
Nope.
Because that's his only chance is a takedown.
Yep.
He ain't gonna get it.
Yoel Romero, I think it was a tough loss, but not a devastating loss. You think he just bounced right back, maybe gets a Luke Rockhold, maybe.
Yeah, I think that'd be a nice matchup. I mean, he didn't look bad, you know what I mean? It was just a weird game plan. Like, I don't know who came up with that game plan. Oh, let's give away round 4. It's a freaking title fight.
Yeah.
So, I think a little bit of a bad game plan, but no, he looked decent throughout the fight. It's just he got gassed, man. I mean, you could just tell.
I'm telling you right now, he has 2 more fights left in him. He loses one more time, he's done.
Bellator,
be.
He's 40 years old and he's going to Bellator if he loses one more
now,
time.
when you say left in him, in the UFC, right?
Yeah, in the UFC.
Bellator,
No, he
obviously,
can fight until he's
anybody.
45.
Ken Shamrock's like 55 years old. He's still fighting.
He's still booking over there.
So that's it for round number 1. We're going to come back and talk about the Amanda Nunes situation and why the UFC 213 main event was scrapped. So don't go anywhere. But before we do that, let's talk about 5 Rounds clothing line. 5 Rounds offers a unique collection of apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They're constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company possible in the MMA world. Check out the lines of t-shirts, hats, hoodies, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's number 5rounds.net. They're also on Twitter at 5roundswear and on Instagram at 5rounds_.
And how sick are their new shirts? Did you see the Muay Thai ones that came out?
Yeah, and they have also Jiu-Jitsu in America. The great, always ahead of the curve, I think.
I know.
You remember back in the day, MMA was all loud and like those affliction shirts were kind of like just patterns everywhere. They keep it real simplistically, and they're keeping that style to go into today. So that's 5 rounds. Get it on. Round 2 coming up next. Oh, welcome back. Time for round number 2. So, about maybe 3 or 4 hours before the UFC 213 was going to start, news broke out that Amanda Nunes was forced to pull out of her main event bout due to she felt very ill. That's what the early report. She felt very ill, and then all of a sudden this rumor mill about Joanna Jędrzejczyk filling in, but then the athletic commission stomped that. So for a while there, it was like, oh man, how badass is Joanna J and Valentina? They want to scrap, but people kind of put Amanda Nunes to the back burner. But then as the night went on, and then post fight press conference, Dana White kind of revealed with a smile on his face, just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do, that Amanda Nunes was seen by doctors earlier in the day, was medically cleared to fight. The doctors found nothing wrong with it to prevent her from fighting on a medical standpoint, but her camp said, you know what, no, she can't go. The fight was canceled. I see it as maybe she just didn't want to fight Valentina at all. I think, What do you guys think about the situation? I think she got scared and said, you know what, I don't want to do this.
Have you ever heard of chronic sinusitis? That's what she's claiming she had.
Yeah.
A sinus problem?
That's what
sort of sinus
that's
problem.
what she posted up on her official Twitter page.
There's Nasodex, bro. Just,
Yeah. Sass Hector.
Wow.
And she kind of like hurts herself because she mentions she's had it before and she's fought with it before.
Yeah.
Then what was different this time? I'm pretty sure if it was that bad, the doctors will not clear, and the doctors will say, "Hey, whatever." Knowing that you have this,
take some allergy medicine.
Yeah, and it's funny because Michael Bisping, I hate agreeing with the guy, but when he's right, I guess you're right. He said, "Look, no matter what your condition is or whatever, if you're getting sick and having trouble the day after the weight cut, that means you did not prepare correctly for that weight cut, and the only person you have to blame is yourself." Yeah. It's like you could say this and that, like every fighter. He said every fighter fights hurt, but let's keep it real. You weren't prepared for the weight cut. That means you didn't prepare yourself. For sure. So it's on you. It's 100% on her, and regardless of if she has this and that, if she was cleared and she's had that problem before and fought with it, it's hard to say. It's. You pretty much wussed out.
Yeah, AJ, what do you think about Dana White saying that she's never going to main event again?
I think it's warranted. I mean, for the longest time, the women were having a difficult time getting into the main event picture, even on the main card, stuff like that. Ronda Rousey brought it to the forefront, but now you have somebody like Amanda Nunes. That's a step back for that division, and really women's MMA on UFC as a whole, is my opinion, because that really is a bad look, and you got somebody like JJ ready to just jump in and maul whoever, whether she wins or not. I mean, just having that fighting spirit. I think you have somebody like JJ, I could see her on a main event card again. Ronda Rousey, if she ever came back, main event, obviously with the money. But somebody like Amanda Nunes, she's really not a name anyways. I mean, she's had some losses here and there, so she's not really a draw. And now with this, it's like you can't rely on her. So I totally agree with Dana on that.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like basically the women's bantamweight division, it needs a face now.
Yeah,
we thought it was gonna be Misha Tate, but she just kind of lost her spirit. I still blame Brian Caraway for that. But yeah, and then now Amanda Nunes, who's not really in favor with American fans and not super popular in Brazil. I mean, I don't know what reaction Brazil is, but and then now this happens, it's a major step back to the division, especially when hasn't been a consistent main eventer since Ronda Rousey for the women. The whole situation with Cyborg not getting properly handled by the UFC. Dana White admitted, we dropped the ball on Cyborg, so now it's a big step back, like Jason said. But hopefully she kind of goes punch at the whole division. I think Valentina's would be a great champion, a face of division, but I think they said Dana White wants to reschedule as soon as UFC 215, which is a couple months. So, I mean, Albert, we're going to add to the situation.
I just want to say I agree with Jason. I was never excited to see Amanda Nunes perform. I have never ever mentioned like, dude, Amanda Nunes is fighting tomorrow or next week. I don't even think in this show have I ever mentioned her on the card.
Yeah.
Other than the fact when she fought Ronda Rousey. So I was never excited to begin with, and the fact that this whole thing happened, I'm pretty sure that her stock is at an all-time low, and I don't blame Dana White from saying I will never put you in the main event, because at the end of the day, it's true. People forget these, even though UFC is a big company, they still invest millions of dollars into these events. And how as a business person, how am I going to put millions of dollars on you again, knowing that you can potentially back out, even though you're medical clear?
Yep.
So I can't risk that. So as far as that's concerned, she was a main event caliber before. Now there's definitely no way she's main eventing anymore. She could keep the belt for 2 more years, and I still wouldn't put her in the main event.
Absolutely
Posters alone.
She would have to get some vicious knockouts like Cyborg for me to put her back up to the main event level.
Yeah.
I mean, vicious endings.
Let's be real. She beat Ronda Rousey, who, I mean, she's kind of on her way out, right? So I mean, it's
looking back, hindsight now, she beat 2 fighters on the way out.
Right.
She beat Misha Tate, who was mentally checked out, and Ronda Rousey, who was mentally checked out.
So who she really beat?
I mean,
and I had Valentina winning that, almost winning that fight when they fought.
So I think, it's just one of the things where she's fighting a motivated Valentina Schevchenko, who's a professional fighter, who's all she worries about. And I think maybe the sinus pressure got to Amanda Nunes, but hopefully we'll see what happens soon.
Pressure.
Yeah, hopefully it gets the situation gets kind of sorted out. But yeah, so we're gonna come back with round number 3. Talk about the highlights from UFC 213. Alistair Overeem, we're winning. Travis Bryan getting choked out, but also Derek Lewis's reaction on Twitter. All that great stuff coming up next. But let's talk about Mobilitas. Mobility tools, the best mobility tools on the planet. Durable, portable, manufactured release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. Visit yourjointshouldn'thurt.com. That's yourjointshouldn'thurt.com for more information and to shop their great line of products. They're also on Instagram at Mobilitas. They're also on Facebook, like them there. And also visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn'thurt for great tutorials and great ways to stay in shape. Round 3 coming up. Welcome back. Time for round number 3. So let's focus on the other highlights from UFC 213, other than the main event. Jason, other than the main event, what fight did you want to talk about?
You know what? The Anthony Pettis-Jim Miller fight I thought was really entertaining. 2 guys just going at it. One of the better pay-per-view fights I've seen in a while, actually. I mean,
I actually have a bone to pick with that fight.
Well, I'm a huge Anthony Pettis fan, and I think he's still got so much room to grow, especially in that weight class.
Yeah.
But he pushed the pace the whole time. Jim Miller's tough as hell, but I just think the skill level of Anthony Pettis really was able to overshadow that.
My whole thing is, sure, is he supposed to be Jim Miller? Of course.
Yeah.
But you got to get the finishes. I know how tough Jim Miller has been in the past, and everyone always gives props for how tough the Miller boys are. But come on now. If Anthony Pettis wants to put himself back in title contending, do you really think that was a title contending performance?
Oh, no, I don't think
that's what I'm saying. That's my only. I saw a lot of praises from Anthony Pettis, but if anything, I was disappointed. I was like, dude, with that performance, I can't see you putting him in the top 3 in the lightweight division.
Yeah, no.
Lightweight division. I wouldn't even put him against Gaethje, for crying out loud.
No.
So, to tell you the truth, I wasn't that impressed with the performance. I think it's awesome that he got a solid win, but I was no way or shape or form impressed by that performance by Anthony Pettis.
But it can't say, like Pettis is back, and
that's what I'm saying.
Showtime's back.
That's what kept hearing, but it's not. That was not Showtime back. That was just a good performance with against a guy that, let's keep it real, he was supposed to beat him either way.
It makes me wonder, is Pettis one of those guys who needs to be motivated, kind of like a Randy Moss, where the skill level was always there, but maybe the work ethic wasn't always there to be as good. Like on skill and pure skill and pure talent alone, Anthony Pettis is probably a championship fighter, right?
Yeah.
But does he need that motivation to
Maybe
get in
because
there?
his counterparts were always Benson Henderson and Donald Cerrone, and those were his two biggest performances he had.
Yeah.
And then when he fought someone like Rafael Dos Anjos, who, I mean, let's keep it real, at the time nobody really knew who Rafael Dos Anjos really was.
Yeah.
And maybe the motivation wasn't there. Maybe you have a point, but his counterparts, which was always Benson Henderson and Don Cerrone, is the ones that he had the best performances with.
Or Jason, is he just a super specific, like he needs a certain type of fight to be successful? Because we saw Dos Anjos smothered him, Eddie Alvarez smothered him. I think Barboza just kind of smothered him. Not grappling, but at least kept forward the whole time.
Well, maybe, but then you look at a guy like Jim Miller. That's Jim Miller's game plan too. Just wrestle you to death and smother you, things like that. And he wasn't able to do that against him. So I think Anthony Pettis, just like Albert was saying, I think he went up against some just savages. You know, he got Rafael Dos Anjos as he was coming up. Can't remember, he lost a couple in a row there, but he had some real killers that he'd gone against. But really, he fought against Benson Henderson when he was in his prime, when he was a champ. Fought against Donald Cerrone before some of his wars. So I don't think you can take anything away from Anthony Pettis as a competitor. But like Albert said, I don't think that was a title contending, performance. I think there's 3 or 4 guys he's going to have to go through before you even start to consider him against some of the top echelon of the division.
So I want to focus on the co-main event and that heavyweight bout. Fabricio Verdum lost to Alistair Overeem via majority decision. Overeem is just two fights away now from getting locked up by Stipe Miocic for his title shot. So he's kind of still far away from the title. Derek Lewis next maybe?
I thought Derek Lewis retired.
No, he's back on it. He said it was a little emotional afterwards. Because I think Francis Ngannou was going to fight JDS next. I think Cain Velasquez is going to get up for the title next. It's the other who's left, unless he fights the winner of the guy who just defeated Travis Brownie, Olenek, who choked out Brownie. So
to tell you the truth, after seeing Overeem's performance, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't mind them running back that Mark Hunt fight.
Really?
Yeah, after really seeing that performance, I think Mark Hunt had a way better camp, and he looked way better against Derek Lewis. And to tell the truth, I would be pretty excited if they ran that back. I know it just literally just happened. I wouldn't mind them running it right back and seeing how this new version of Mark Hunt does against this Overeem. That, to tell you the truth, it didn't seem like his cardio was there.
I think it's either Bellator or Legends divisions or bust for Alistair Overeem. I mean,
he's kind of in a weird place.
But in the heavyweight division, he's only one fight away from being a champion again, or being in the championship fight.
That's more a sad state of affairs for the division as opposed to how good of a fighter Overeem is, because that fight could have gone either way. I don't know if you saw it, but I mean, Verdum, he had every right to think he won the fight. Overeem really didn't do much damage. I mean, he was okay standing, didn't do much on the ground. Got tired, got gassed. Like I said, I think Bellator or Legends division or bust, because he's not going to beat Stipe. He's not going to beat Derek Lewis. So
not going to be Cain Velasquez. Say it.
Well,
he's not going to be
no comment on
JDS.
that.
Say it.
Cain Velasquez won't even make it to the fight, so why even talk about it?
I'm perfectly fine with that Derek Lewis matchup or running back that Mark Hunt fight.
And then people are saying that Travis Brownie should be cut from the UFC, but I think as long as Ronda Rousey has ties to the organization, he's fine, right?
Maybe, but I don't.
I think Dana White
said
he's gonna marry.
He needs to retire.
Come on,
wow.
But is that what?
Hey, let's keep it real.
What's worse, saying he's retire or
let's
ship
keep
him
it
off?
real. Ronda Rousey has a couple million in the savings. He's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He could invest her money into something, right? We all should be so lucky. That's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. Actually, I want to talk about something we haven't talked about at all. Justin Gaethje's debut in the UFC. I'm asking you guys if it's the best debut ever in the UFC, because Brian Stan said it was. So we're going to do that when we come back from the break and champion rounds. But before we do that, let's talk about Redemption Martial Arts. The RMA Foundation is a non-profit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the anti-bullying epidemic, providing people with accessible training and resources to combat bullying confrontations. Team RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. If you want more information or just want to see what RMA is all about, visit redemptionmartialarts.com and follow them on all forms of social media. Redemption Martial Arts rise up against bullying. Championship rounds coming up next. Welcome back into the championship rounds. Justin Gaethje, former World Series of Fighting lightweight champion, made his debut on Friday night against Michael Johnson, the TUF 25 finale in a spectacular 2-round battle back and forth. He scored the TKO win in the second round, about 2.5 minutes into the bout. Many are saying, I think Brian Stan said this is the best debut he's ever seen a fighter in the UFC make. Jason, do you agree with that?
I do, and let me tell you why. First of all, it was a spectacular fight.
Yeah.
We all know about Justin Gaethje from the indie circuits, if you will.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: when was the last time you remember a debut You know what I mean? I mean,
I was trying to
realistically,
think. Eddie Alvarez was kind of like...
Eddie Alvarez was kind of whatever, but then somebody, I was talking about this on Twitter, you know, somebody said Anderson Silva. Well, when Anderson Silva beat the piss out of Chris Lieben, that wasn't his debut. He had fought before that.
Yeah.
So when you think about a spectacular debut on that setting, beating a top 5 lightweight, you know, I think it definitely is the best debut of all time in UFC.
I think also too. I think Anderson Silva had a lot of hype around
true.
him, so it was kind of anticipated where he would do that, right, Albert? But with Gaethje, it's kind of not a lot of former champions have success coming in the UFC. I think David Branch won. I think his debut. Marlon Morales lost his debut.
Even Anthony Pettis lost against Clay Guida, if you remember that.
That's true.
Eddie Alvarez lost his debut, right? So it's kind of, they don't have too much stuff. But this guy, he even said like, it's gonna be long before I get knocked out in the UFC. It's almost happened in his first fight in the UFC, but that's his style. I'm gonna go out and bang this way. So, Albert, do you think I think it's an impressive performance. I think. Right?
Well, yeah. Is he going to become a huge fan favorite? Yeah, heck yeah, he is. Is he going to get paid really quick, really fast? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Is he going to have a long career? I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So I want to ask, is his style... Can his style win a championship in the UFC? No. Or is he going to settle for, you know what, I'm going to main event fight night after fight night after fight night?
I think you have to put it in the perspective that Conor McGregor is the champion in this division.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor, if you give Conor McGregor some free shots, it's going to not work out for you.
Yeah.
Let's take the second guy, Khabib. Because Khabib is the second guy, then it's Tony Ferguson. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Khabib, come on. Khabib will easily just take him down. He's not going to go in a slick fist. Khabib's going to take him down and ground and pound him. Tony Ferguson's the only exciting fight I see there, and he could potentially win. Tony Ferguson has been rocked in a few of his fights. Even most recently, he got rocked in one of his previous fights. Yeah. So that would be the only one I can see him winning as far as being in the top 3 or being in that championship level.
Well, it's kind of like I'm going to eat 2 to give 1, right?
Exactly.
I'm going to eat 1 to give 2 type of thing.
You're leaving out the wild card here, and that's Nate Diaz, baby.
Come on,
that would be dude.
Like
that fight could headline any pay per view you want. That fight would headline over title fights.
I think Nate Diaz and don't get it wrong, I'm a Diaz hater. But his distance and his boxing, there is no way Gaethje's landing on it. It's not gonna be what you expect.
But it should be said that people are already linking up Gaethje with Diaz. They're linking up Gaethje with Ferguson. They're linking up Gaethje with
Alvarez.
Kevin Lee already. It's just like he is the bell of the ball right now in the lightweight division. People are like, you know what? Let's have another fight of the year contender. Mostly because if I fight Gaethje, I probably have a bonus in it with performance of the night, right? Or fight of the night.
Yeah, but I think
that's what they want more than anything.
I agree with Albert though. I don't see him ever winning a title because, like you said, you go against Conor. Conor's going to put him to sleep. No questions asked. Khabib,
especially if you give him a free shot.
Yeah, Khabib, if he ever makes a freaking fight, you know, he'll probably wrestle him to death. You know, all these other top guys. Tony Ferguson, I don't know how that one would go. Probably Tony would beat him. But yeah, I think he's the type of guy that could main event a lot of pay-per-views or fight nights, maybe something like that. But think about it, guys. Nate Diaz versus Justin Gaethje, the shit talking that would go on in that.
I think he'd be great.
Promotion.
I just don't know if Diaz will be up for it because where's the money?
Well, you have to give him a couple mil supposedly.
Well, you got to give him. Give him about 30 days to clear out his system too,
just to show up. So hopefully, I think it'd be good for Gaethje. We just have the timer. Are we good? 5 minutes?
We actually have 1 minute left. Keep on talking about. This is not a good debut for FiveRoundMMA
anyway.
Talking about Justin Gaethje because this is I think the first time.
Well, wait, we didn't talk about the tough 25 main event, the fight night. You know, the tough finals.
I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching the season.
Come on, no. This was the best tough season in a long time.
Really?
And Cody Garbrandt was a star of that show. I don't care what you say. Yeah. He made TJ Dillashaw look like a little punk. He choked him a couple times.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bullied the shit out of him.
After this season, Dwayne Ludwig does look like a little weenie.
He does. I
mean, all respect. I'm pretty sure he has an awesome program in Colorado. I'm pretty sure he's one of the best trainers out in the world. But he didn't. He looked like a straight up weenie in the show, bro.
Team Alpha Male is basically like a modern day Cobra Kai, and Miyagi's dojo is TJ Dillashaw on them. It was really entertaining. And the main fight, JT Jesse Taylor. I mean, that show was called Redemption.
He is the Redemption. So I remember watching that Ultimate Fighter.
It was like number 4 or something.
See him kicking out the limo. So like, dude, what the heck?
What are you doing?
Yeah. So perfect story for Redemption.
He's a a rough-looking 34-year-old, huh?
Yeah.
He's only 30.
Well,
the guy's in his mid-30s. He's a rough-looking 34.
The guy has roughly 50 fights under his belt.
Yeah,
you're gonna look.
I was like,
with
is that a Taylor or is that a Mark Coleman out there? I don't know.
Right, yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, I don't think Jesse Taylor's winning any titles, let's be honest, but I think he'll be entertaining to watch for a few
for
fights.
sure.
And then
Well, you guys thought it was kind of funny. So is this part of the new ownership to cut it from $1 million to $290,000, the paycheck that he got?
no, it was the biggest paycheck in tough history.
I think $1 million
No.
contract.
No. That was a contract. Like I think
spread out through
spread out through
okay.
whatever. Yeah,
So
and this one's a straight up here,
250.
bro.
Here's $290. Not, if we'll call
I don't know if you saw. He was crying when he saw the check.
Yeah.
He was
Did you
crying
hear
when he
what
won
he
the fight.
he says, "Is this real?"
Okay, I thought it's always part of it's $1 million contract or $6-figure contract, right?
Yeah.
That could be $100,000 after taxes, 80.
Yeah, so as opposed to $290. Okay, that makes sense. It's a little funny though, but new management. That's it for round number 3, or not round number 4. We got one more round coming up. We're gonna just shoot the breeze, the 5th and final round. Talk about stuff we missed and stuff like that. Kind of have do that when we come up next. So before we do that, let's talk about FightBookMMA.com, our great partners at FightBookMMA.com, the only place you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust accurate news from reliable sources that cover MMA, kickboxing, and boxing. They do it all from UFC, Bellator, King of the Cage. It's all there under one spot. They have a great podcast section. Well, we're in there. Dos Leprechauns is on there as well. They're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at FightBookMMA. So coming around 5th and final round coming up next. 5th and final round. Usually we'll preview a card for next week, but next week is UFC Fight Night. Nelson versus Ponzinibbio. Yeah.
Pronounced perfectly.
Santiago. Gunnar Nelson's main event, and co-main event's probably the highlight of the card, which is Joanne Calderwood against Cynthia Calvillo. But yeah, it's on a Sunday, and we'll talk about it when it comes out too. International Fight Week. Did you guys see the Hall of Fame?
No,
Guillermo Cita was live in attendance. Actually.
Yeah, Guillermo said that the highlight of the whole event was Dan Savran.
Yeah.
I guess he kept hitting on Misha Tate.
Oh, nice.
I believe it.
And I think
With
he
the
said,
mustache like that, of course.
I think he said at one point he mentioned how Misha Tate was now single from what he heard. And then all of a sudden, Misha Tate was no longer in the front row. I'm not quite sure what happened, but Guillermo said that was the highlight of the day. Did I watch it? No. I think it was probably the best class, though, in a while as far as the
Is Faber in it? Faber was in it, right? Or was it
You're
next
right.
year?
Faber was in it, right?
Hayabusa.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was good.
Anything else we missed, Jason, from the weekend, from any other fights we talked about?
Yeah, one thing we didn't cover, it wasn't actually a fight, but the promo video for UFC 214 DC versus John Bones Jones was very impressive. I just want to go out and say, though, that I don't think Bones Jones deserves to be anywhere near an octagon. He needs to be locked up in a friggin' prison cell. But either way, it was a cool promo. I'm really excited. I think this is the chance for DC to get his redemption, and I think he's going to get him.
Yeah,
really
like you said, you made a good point. I really hope these promos don't paint DC as a villain here.
Even though
Not so much him as a villain.
You know what? DC is so good now. He can spin any way he wants. Hate him, love him. I think he's gonna sell it the way he sells it. I think he's really embraced his character now, and I think he's one of the best promoters as far as fights.
True.
So honestly, I don't care how they spin in DC. I think DC can easily work with it. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys ever saw the poster. It's probably one of the sickest posters they got out there.
Yeah.
As far as UFC pay-per-view posters.
We'll tweet it out. Follow us on FiveRound. We'll tweet it out. Also, what was Conor McGregor selling when he was walking down the street? I missed it.
What was he selling?
Yeah, what was he selling? That promo. Like he was just walking down the street. What was he selling?
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
The Conor McGregor promo.
Oh, it was a Budweiser.
Was it Budweiser?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's walking down the street saying he's pretty much amazing. He's this, and that.
Well, speaking of the greatest of all time,
What did you sell it here?
Speaking of the greatest of all time, did you guys see that all the press conferences are sold out, every single one across the country?
Yeah,
British Columbia?
starting July 11th, they're gonna go on a war tour of their
Press conferences.
Mayweather and McGregor.
Yeah, and they said everything's booked. Actually, if you check his Instagram, he's flying over here to Cali as we speak.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So Connor will touch down here in California, start the promotional tour July 11th, and I think it's going to be one of the best press tours. It's funny because the Jose Aldo one, I think, was probably one of the greatest press tours I ever seen.
His title.
Yeah, and I think this one might top it. I really do think so because people forget you need a good dancer to make a good dance. And Jose Aldo was not dancing, dance partner. And Jose Aldo wasn't really. Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather.
You're there. You're almost there. Yeah. is known for his smack talking, so I think this is probably going to be one of the best press tours, especially after seeing that Canelo Alvarez and Chavez press tour. How boring was that, man? But yeah,
Respect.
Let's just hope Floyd makes it to the fight and doesn't get arrested by the IRS beforehand.
Yeah. How much time we got left, Albert?
we got exactly 1 minute and
1 minute
20
left.
seconds.
Well, this is the perfect time to plug our interview with Bellator welterweight standout, former UFC standout, former Strikeforce standout, Lorenz Larkin. We have an interview dropping this Wednesday, so make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram for that stuff. Yeah, Jason, so where can people get a hold of Dose Leprechauns podcast?
Yeah, so Dose Leprechauns, you can find us on Twitter at Dose Leprechauns, Instagram Dose Leprechauns, or we now have a Facebook page, Facebook fan page at Dose Leprechauns. And then I didn't tell you guys this, but we actually were approved for ProWrestlingTees.com to have a store on their website.
There you
So
go.
if you guys want to get any of our gear, you can go on ProWrestlingTees.com/Dose Leprechauns and grab some gear. We appreciate the support. And we have a GoFundMe going on right now. We're going to be giving some money away to charity and then also improving the quality of our show. So
Cool, and it's not just obviously it's Notre Dame centered, but you cover a lot of stuff, right?
yeah, we do wrestling, MMA, entertainment, people doing good things in the community. Try to keep it well-rounded.
There you go. Yeah, as far as us, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Again, Lorenz Larkin is going to drop on this Wednesday. Make sure you catch that out. And visit FiveRoundMMA.com. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to say I am not hyped over the great balls of fire or fireballs.
Who
Or
is?
I don't know. But they better get their acts together because Japan will take over.
G1,
Because
baby.
G1 was the shit.
King of Mega greatest.
See you
Young
guys
Bucks.
later.
You are now listening to Afro Mighty Radio.